Hey y'all, I am going to start doing a series about Gerald and I and our relationship from how we met to all the struggles that we've been through and how God has showed up in everything. I'll start with how we met. We met through mutual friends. I was really good friends, best friends with sisters. Their names are Lindsay and Jessica. And Jessica and I were the same age, and Lindsay was a year younger than us. So Jessica and I graduated in 2000, and Lindsay graduated in 2001. And so Jessica ended up going to Baylor, and I stayed in Houston and went to Houston Community College. And Lindsay was still in high school. Well, when it came time for Lindsay to graduate, Jessica obviously was going to come back into town for that, and she was also going to bring her boyfriend and two of his friends. So I'm hanging out over at Jessica and Lindsay's house, waiting for them to arrive, and Gerald walks in the door, and I'm immediately like, who is that fine man right there? Oh my gosh, his eyes just took my breath away. I was sitting on an ottoman when we were getting introduced, and so I stood up to shake his hand, and my flip flop got caught underneath the ottoman and made me trip. So I go tripping towards him. I do like a two steps, trying, like, like when you're tripping and you're falling forward. That's what was happening here. And so I ended up face planting right into his crotch. And the only way out was up. So it was like a face plant into his crotch and all the way up his body. He was like, whoa, it's nice to meet you. Of course, everyone's laughing. And someone in the room, I think Mama Hamilton, I think Lindsay and Jessica's mom was like, that's our tab. But it was like super funny, super embarrassing. I was like, oh my gosh, right off the bat, I'm just face planting into this man's crotch. Um, so anyways, we all get a laugh. We're starting to all just kind of chit chat and get to know each other, and we're talking about what we're gonna do that night. And we knew we were going clubbing, and really there was only one choice of a place that we could go because most of us were under 21. The guys were older than 21, but me, Lindsay, and Jessica were all 18. I think Jessica might have been already 19. Either way, we were all just 18. So there was only one club in Houston at the time. I think it was called, for 18 and up, and it was called Club Rehab. So that's obviously where we decided to go. And so we go upstairs. We're getting real cute. I think I borrowed Jessica's like this hot pink snakeskin tube top type thing to wear in these pleather pants I had, and I was feeling myself. And we were downstairs taking pictures. It was already dark, of course, and so back in these days we didn't have, well, we had cell phones, but you didn't take pictures on them. And so Jessica's mom's taking pictures of us with flash camera, and we were just like having a good time taking pictures. And they were like, all right guys, let's go, let's get going. And Lindsay and I don't know if we were talking to her mom, I don't know what, we were just continuing to take photos. But anyways, I had gotten to where I was like seeing stars because of all the flashes. And so when we go run outside to the car, I didn't see it, but I ran smack dab into a tree, like with my whole entire face. Like I was like, now I was really seeing stars. I was like, I ain't gonna let this get me down. So I get my shoes back on because I fell out of a shoe as well. I had to get my shoe back on, run to the car, and Gerald had saved a seat for me. He was looking at me, he was like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. He was like, can I get that for you? And I was like, what? He picked a big piece of bark out of my forehead. I was like, oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. So we're laughing about it. I'm dying inside of embarrassment. But then I'm just like, I mean, I am a clumsy, like, carefree person. It is what it is. So I got over myself. And unfortunately, back then, we all did smoke cigarettes. More socially, but still, we smoked. It was stupid. And so on the way there, he was like, would you like a cigarette? And I'm like, yes, please. And I have the cigarette in my mouth. He lights it for me. And for some stupid ass reason, I flick it. And in a second, he lights it. The cherry pops out and lands on my pants. And I burn a hole into my leather pants. So I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I have face planted into this man's crotch. I have run into a tree and gotten bark stuck in my head. I have now burned a hole in my pants. We've only known each other for like 4 or 5 hours at this point. I'm like, this guy has got to think I am a mess. And I was. So we get to the club and we start dancing. I'm like, okay, that is one thing that I can do and I am good at. So had such a good time dancing. I did not falter there. I was really good at it. But he did ask if I wanted a drink. And my little 18-year-old self, who never really drank, didn't know what to order. And so I was panicking inside. And the only drink name that I knew was a Screwdriver. I had no idea that was orange juice and vodka, by the way, either. I didn't even know what the hell it was that I ordered. He was like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, I'm sure. So he goes up there and orders that. And then he brings it back and I take a sip of it. And I'm like, ugh. So I hate it. So I'm just like sitting there feeling like I'm drinking breakfast juice. But I'm like taking tiny sips and like slowly like pouring it out as we go along because I'm so embarrassed. And I felt so bad that I just made this man order me a drink that I don't like. I later found out was very embarrassing for him to order at a bar. But I didn't drink, you know? So anyways, we danced the night away. We get back to Lindsay and Jessica's house and we're all just talking, like having a good time. We're all sitting out by the pool. And I'm just getting to know Gerald and just like really liking him. And it's starting to get really late, like 5, 6 in the morning. And I'm a 9 o'clock girly when it comes to going to bed. So I was up way past my bedtime. So anyways, I'm like, I gotta go to bed. So I end up going upstairs to Lindsay's room because at that time she had a twin bed because it fit in this really cool nook that she had. And I'm like, I'm gonna sleep there to not give this guy the wrong idea because I was actually trying to turn my life around at this point. And I wanted to be a good girl. Anyways, he comes in the room about 10 minutes later. He knocks like, are you dressed? I'm like, yeah, I'm laying in the bed. And he was like, I just wanted to tell you I had a really good time with you. I just wanted to tell you good night. So he kisses me on the forehead and he said, good night, Trinity. And I'm like, damn, that's not my name. But that's okay. I didn't care because he gave me a kiss on the forehead and I was like, good night, Julius. And he looks at me kind of funny and he walks away and I was like, damn, he didn't even know my name. So anyways, the next morning I'm telling Jessica, or actually a few hours later, and the day of Lindsay's graduation, I'm telling Jessica how much I really like this guy, and I call him Julius, and she gives me this look. She's like, who the hell is Julius? And I was like, the guy in there. She's like, his name is Gerald. I was like, oh my God, I just called him Julius. And she was laughing so hard, and then Gerald ended up talking to her, saying how much he liked the girl Trinity in the room. She was like, who is Trinity? And he was like, that girl. She's like, that's Tabitha. So she did this really funny thing where she reintroduced us. She was like, Julius and Trinity, please meet Gerald and Tabitha. It was really hilarious. So then later on, we go, and it's Lindsay's graduation, and they're saving us seats, and it's at the Frank Erwin Center at the time. It's where Joel Osteen's church is now, but it used to be like a concert kind of venue area. And he looks up and he's like, come down here. And I'm like, okay. And I'm talking to someone. Well, I start to go down the stairs and I completely miss a step. And I just go, doo, 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 doo. But not on my butt, as one would think. No, I did the splits almost all the way down the stairs and ended up splitting my jeans. I'm like, oh my God, this guy is never going to like me. I'm so embarrassed. My jeans are ripped. Not like a huge gash or anything, just like this tiny hole, but it's one of those things where it's like it's going to get worse as time goes. So anyways, we go and, finish the graduation. Lindsay gets all graduated. We take amazing pictures and have just a good time, have dinner and stuff afterwards. Oh, I'm going to have to make this into a part 2. Sorry.